Welcome back to Shash Graphic Novels. Let's continue our dramatic comedy series Business Proposal. Episode 5 of Business Proposal opens with a dramatic twist. Taemu, who has been unknowingly entangled in a web of deception, stands outside Hari's house, piecing together the shocking truth. Jiamhui, the woman he's been dating, and Shin Hari, his employee, are one and the same. The realization hits him like a freight train. All those past interactions, the quirks he found endearing, the excuses she made, they all start to make sense now, and with each memory, his anger intensifies. How could she deceive him so thoroughly? As the rage bubbles up, Taemu's hurt pride begins to cloud his judgment, turning his feelings for Hari into a tangled knot of frustration and confusion. At work the next day, Hari remains blissfully unaware of Taemu's discovery. She's going about her day when she receives a text message from Taemu, asking her to meet him for coffee near her workplace. Excited but nervous, Hari hurries to meet him, thinking this might just be another charming rendezvous. As they sit down, Taemu casually brings up the topic of her work, asking her where she's employed. The question seems innocent enough, but it catches Hari off guard. She stumbles through her answer, still trying to maintain her false identity as Jiamhui. Taemu listens intently, playing along as if he's genuinely curious, all the while hiding his growing resentment. During their conversation, Taemu pretends to schedule a meeting over the phone, casually mentioning that it's with her department at Go Food. The subtle yet pointed remark doesn't immediately register with Hari. But there's an undercurrent of tension in his voice that she can't quite place. When she finally arrives late to the meeting, Taemu wastes no time in making things difficult for her. He orders her to redo the entire ravioli product, demanding that she reduce the cost without compromising on quality. The task is daunting, nearly impossible, and Hari can't help but feel that this is more personal than professional. Song-hoon, Taemu's sharp and observant secretary, quickly notices the unusual tension between his boss and Hari. There's something off about Taemu's demeanor. His typically composed and professional attitude seems to be cracking under the weight of his emotions. Sensing that something has shifted, Song-hoon confronts Taemu, who reveals the truth about Hari's dual identity. Taemu is determined to make Hari pay for her deception, but Song-hoon, ever the voice of reason, warns him that his anger might be clouding his judgment. He points out that Taemu's feelings for Hari are more complex than he's willing to admit, hinting that perhaps his actions are driven by more than just a bruised ego. As the days go by, Hari throws herself into her work, trying desperately to perfect the ravioli recipe. A montage of her tireless efforts shows just how hard she's. The task is daunting, nearly impossible, and Hari can't help but feel that this is more personal than professional. Becomes more and more complicated. Later that day, arranges a meeting with Hari in her guise as Jiamhui. He nonchalantly brings up the upcoming founder's ceremony and insists that she attend. Hari, panicking at the thought of having to keep up her act in front of everyone, tries to make an excuse to avoid the event. But Taemu, ever the strategist, catches her in a lie and reminds her of the penalty fee in their contract. His tone is icy, almost threatening, and Hari realizes with growing dread that she has no choice but to comply. As something else, Taemu seems to lose his usual calm whenever Hari is involved. It's as if she has a unique power over him, one that makes him act irrationally. The observation hits Taemu hard, forcing him to confront feelings he's been trying to ignore. Back at her flat, Hari's best friend, young SEO, excitedly tells her about a lamp she received from her mysterious new neighbor. The camera lingers ominously on the lamp, hinting that there's more to it than meets the eye. The atmosphere shifts, becoming tense and suspenseful, as the lamp's true purpose remains a mystery for now. The next day, Hari receives some good news. Her proposal for the bucket list fish project has won a major award. It's a moment of triumph that quickly turns bittersweet when she realizes that she'll have to receive the award from none other than President Kong himself at the founder's ceremony. The thought of standing in front of Taemu, Chairman Kong, and all her colleagues while maintaining her dual identity fills her with dread. She knows it's an impossible task, but she has no choice. Taemu, ever the tactician, has already sent invitations to her entire family, ensuring that everyone will expect her to be there. As the pressure mounts, Hari begins to dream about the upcoming ceremony. In her dream, she frantically tries to be two people at once, Shin Hari, the diligent employee, and Jiam Hui, the sophisticated socialite. But no matter how hard she tries, she can't keep up the facade. The dream ends in chaos, leaving Hari even more anxious about the real event. Young SEO, meanwhile, has a chance encounter with Song-hoon at a new restaurant. They're forced to sit together, and in typical Young SEO fashion, she playfully draws a line between their seats, insisting that neither of them cross it. Their banter provides a light-hearted contrast to the heavy drama surrounding Hari and Taemu. Adding a touch of humor to the episode, the night before the ceremony, Hari goes out drinking with her colleagues. Fueled by alcohol and nerves, she ends up calling Taemu, drunkenly confessing that she can't attend the ceremony and doesn't have the money to pay the penalty fee. Her words are slurred, her thoughts jumbled, and before she can explain further, she accidentally hangs up. Taemu, unable to reach her, becomes increasingly worried. Despite his anger, he finds himself caring more about her than he expected. Driven by concern, he rushes out into the night, desperately searching for her. Taemu scours the city, visiting various shops and locations where he thinks she might be. His heart races with every step, the fear of something happening to her pushing him forward. Eventually, he finds her lying inside a tunnel slide at a park, looking dazed and confused. Hari, still half-drunk, mistakes his presence for a dream. Believing she's in a dream, she confesses everything, her true identity, her guilt over deceiving him, and her heartfelt apology. Taemu listens, his heart softening with each word. But before he can respond, one of Hari's co-workers arrives to take her home, leaving Taemu standing there. Conflicted and unsure of what to do next, the next morning, Hari wakes up to a text from Taemu informing her that she's been fired. At first, she's stunned, but then a wave of relief washes over her. She's finally free from the burden of her double life, or so she thinks. She celebrates her newfound freedom, thinking that the worst is behind her. But little does she know, Taemu isn't done with her yet. Taemu, on the other hand, is far from relieved. He convinces himself that his feelings for Hari are just a product of his anger and frustration. In an attempt to clear his head, he embarks on a business trip, hoping that distance will help him forget about her. But no matter how far he goes, Hari's image haunts him. He sees her everywhere, in every corner of his mind, and even in his dreams. It's as if she's become a permanent fixture in his thoughts, and he can't shake the feeling that there's more to their connection than he's willing to admit. Meanwhile, back at her flat, young SEO accidentally knocks over the suspicious lamp from her neighbor and discovers a bug hidden inside. The realization that she's been spied on sends a chill down her spine. Determined to get to the bottom of it, she decides to take the bugged lamp to the police. But before she can make it out the door, her neighbor intercepts her, grabbing the bag with the broken lamp pieces. He insists that he'll fix it for her, but young SEO's instincts tell her something is very wrong. At the same time, Song-hoon returns from his business trip and catches sight of young SEO struggling with her neighbor. Sensing danger, he steps in just as the neighbor tries to flee with the lamp. A tense chase ensues, leading to a physical altercation. Song-hoon eventually pins the neighbor to the ground, ensuring that the situation is under control. The altercation leaves both Song-hoon and young SEO shaken, but they know this is far from over. As Taemu prepares to meet his grandfather for dinner, he receives a call from Song-hoon, who quickly fills him in on the incident with young SEO. Just as Taemu is processing the news, Hari arrives at the restaurant, catching him completely off guard. She explains that she came because Chairman Kong requested her presence, but Taemu can't help but feel that there's more to her sudden appearance. His emotions, already a whirlwind, become even more tangled. He grabs Hari's arm, pulling her aside with an urgency that surprises even him. The episode ends on a tense note, with Taemu addressing her as Hari, despite the fact that she's dressed as Jiam Hui. The slip reveals just how deeply she has gotten under his skin, breaking through the walls he's so carefully constructed. This episode masterfully builds the tension between Taemu's conflicting emotions, his feelings for Hari and his wounded pride. Despite his harsh behavior towards her, it's clear that his anger stems from a place of deep care and confusion. Taemu's character is complex, torn between his desire to protect himself and the undeniable pull he feels towards Hari. As the story progresses, the intricate dance between them becomes even more compelling, drawing viewers deeper into the emotional turmoil that defines their relationship. Hey, if you liked this video, do hit that like button. Also forget to subscribe our channel for more such videos. Let's meet in episode 6 of our drama business proposal.